Thank you so much for connecting with me. I am very, very, very grateful. My name is Jennifer Mirembe, and I'm an architect in South Africa. However, I started a campaign called Africa Women Architects Revival. And the campaign is about women in architecture revival, which means that three things, Mama. First, women must do architecture as students. Secondly, when they do the course, they must pass the course with distinctions.
Right.
Thirdly, when they finish, they must do their internship and get their practicing license.
Good.
Then, when they finish getting their license, then they must practice all the way, like you, Mama.
Right.
You're the best example. So that's the campaign. Yes. The problem I'm solving is that I realize that at times when as women we graduate, somehow the moment family comes in or we got older, we close the practice. We stop practicing. So that's why I started this campaign, Mama. Mama, I was referred to you because you were the first woman president architect of the Nigerian Institute of Architects.
Right.
And you are one of the women in architecture in Africa who fought so much for women, not just to be educated, but women in the practice. Then women in the practice, but you went on to practice in the public service, but also in the private sector, and you continue to serve the Nigerian Institute of Architects.
Right.
So, Mama, over to you. What was it like for you in the 1970s to lead the profession as a president?
Thank you very much, Jennifer. My name is architect Bukola Ejiwunmi. Let me start by saying that in those days, we were getting into school. The women, the female students were very few. For instance, I was the only girl in a class of 30. But that is not the case now. Things have improved.
Yes.
As you know, architecture is a male-dominated profession. It used to be, but it is no more. There are more women now in the profession than what we had in the past. And apart from being the first female president, what we started with was, we started what we call the Female Architects of Nigeria. And why did we start it? We started it because at that time, there are not enough female architects to start with. And even the few that eventually got graduated, as you have mentioned, they got caught up with domestic affairs. Many of them were not coming forth to take the exams. They felt it was too cumbersome, the procedure was too tedious, and so they just left it and they were not interested. We said, okay, if we start what we call Female Architects of Nigeria, there is no restriction. You have to be registered with the Institute. Just come. Just come. Come and let us gather together, enjoy ourselves. And then, gradually, we started appealing to them. We started letting them realize that, they should not stop. They have not reached the goal. They are just beginning. Graduating as an architect from the university is just the beginning of the journey. So gradually, we got them more and more interested in the affairs of the Institute, and many of them started taking their professional exams, and they were passing. And they were now getting registered. So that was the initial thing we did to get the female architects to be interested. So we called it, I was the chairman, and I started it by the grace of God with a few other ladies. So we called it Female Architects of Nigeria. And I think the current president, Architect Awad, that talked to you and gave you my number. And as at that time, funny enough, there was a program, an exhibition in Turkey. And we the female architects, we had started thinking seriously of making provision, housing provision for widows. And we got in touch with the president, the wife of the president, Babangida. We got as far as the wife of the president to intimate her with the idea. She was very happy. She invited all the governor's wives, and they were all very interested. We now went to Turkey, and that was what we took along with us, with our model in the museums. We carried our model all the way to Turkey to show them the kind of thing we are doing. Do you know that our male counterparts had nothing to show? So at the end of the day, they joined with us, and joined us to make it like the presentation of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. So what am I saying? I'm saying that there is really no limit for the female architect. We should not limit ourselves. The time has gone when it's only one lady in the midst of 30 or 40. No. Now we have 10, 20 female architects in a class, in a set, in the university. So there are more and more female architects being more and more female architects graduating out of the universities. And we must realize that women, by nature, we are intuitive. You get me? We have that intuition.
Exactly.
It's a God-given thing.
Yes.
To every woman. So we have the innate organizational skills. We are more creative, and therefore, with adequate training and mentoring, a woman can be a better architect than even the male. And don't forget that we form 30%, female form 30% of the architectural force. And so we should not be ignored. In fact, we should be, what was the word now? We should be encouraged, and we should
celebrated, encouraged.
That's the word. That's the word. We should be celebrated, because don't forget that a woman also is multitask. She's a multitasking creature. A woman can be doing 10 things at the same time. She's looking after the children. She's looking after the husband. She's looking after the home. She's looking after her business. She's looking after herself. She's looking after her parents, after her parents-in-law. She's doing so many things at the same time. It is a given gift. And we should be celebrated. We should be encouraged. Women should not in any way feel inferior. What they try to do to us is to make us feel as if we do not have the same mental capability. That is not true. You need to see some of the designs that we do. Women, we are just as brilliant like any other male architect. We have done, there are a lot of female. I have a mentor. Her name is Architect Dada Marquis. She's of course she's much older than myself. Well, not much older. She's about 5 years older or 4 years older than myself. But she had worked with a firm of British architects, Nixon and Boris, in the early 80s. And when I was in government, she also did a project for the government. She did the government house. Now, when she sent in her drawings, Jennifer sent in loads and loads of drawings. When she goes, she takes details of the toilet, she will match it color with the W's, with the tiles, with all the accessories in the bathroom. She will so do that. In fact, you can see it coming alive. There are some of our colleagues.
Yes.
Maybe they will send you maybe about 6 sheets of drawings for a multi-million naira project. And I'm like, excuse me, can you give us some more details? So yes,
yeah.
I used to be very ashamed that I'm sending this kind of thing. And there's a lady that has sent in so much details that you are proud that, you know, this is a colleague that is doing this. So operating within the African terrain, it may sometimes put us in a disadvantage. You know, in some cultures, the lady, the woman is not given the best attention. You know, she's not given the best celebration. She's not given there's the gender bias against in the culture itself, not necessarily in architecture, but the culture of the country. You understand? So these are what we also have to fight against. And I think we also need government. We need government to formulate gender friendship legislation so that we can be sure that, yes, these are the things that we need to go after. It is not enough for us to just talk and talk and talk. We need to get our legislation. We need to go in there and lobby. We need to create a lobbying group. You understand? That we now go into the legislation, yes, and bring out, you know, legislations that will enhance the role of the woman in the profession and in the workings of the country as in general. Now, yes. So, is there any other question that you want to? How do you want to ask questions?
Yes.
Okay,
the other part, Mama, is that now, yeah. The other part is this. I'd like you to give us your advice for the next generation of architects, the ones who have not yet been born. How do you advise them? Because of course now between 1970, 1980 and now 2000s, like you've said, the situation is much better. We are more women architects, but there's another generation of architects that are coming in a very new environment. In the past, we drew with our papers, but now things are different. Everything is computerized, internet-driven. Right. Everything is different. So how should this next generation of architects enter the workforce, especially women? I say women because, like you've said, we are fighting against the cultures. We are fighting against our own health. By the time you finish the pregnancy cycle, sometimes you don't make it. We are fighting against many things. So for the next generation, Mama, of women architects, how do you prepare them, Mama?
Okay. I want to give you an assignment as an organization. I want you to look at the African girl child. The African girl child. The female architects of Nigeria, they start as a project. Many of our parents, our parents, your grandparents, would not send a girl child to school. That is changing now.
Of course.
But there are many girls who are stopped from reaching their potentials due to gender discrimination and cultural bias. So the first thing you need to do is to get government to support the development of the girl child through legislation. Once that is in place, every girl child must go to school, must be trained, must be educated. Once that is in place, then you will not need to do a lot of programs, enlightenment programs, specifically targeted at girls. You need to go to the secondary schools, encourage them to go into subjects that will enable them to study architecture and other related built environment courses. So you need to do a lot of going to the schools to encourage them. They should not just limit themselves to doing history or other economics and things like that. They need to go into the sciences and into the arts, fine arts, physics, mathematics, things like that, that will enhance them to study the course of architecture. When we have done that, we now need to encourage our young, you now need to go to the universities, to the schools of architecture, and start talking to them to have goals and objectives. They should aim for excellence. They should aim for excellence. They should aim for first class and second class upper, and minimum they should aim for the second class lower. No architect should aim at getting out of the university with a pass. It is an abomination. So you encourage them.
Of course.
And have a goal. So, and then also, there are a lot of things that we learn when we graduate that we do not learn when we were in school. And it does not need to be.
Of course.
There are things we should be learning while we are still in the university that we are not being taught now. And the Nigerian Institute of Architects is seriously looking at the curriculum of the School of Architecture right now, and they are trying to collaborate with ACON and see whether some of these things can be entrenched in it. Failing that, we are also creating what we are calling like a finishing school. A finishing school, so that when you come out of the university and then you do your 2 years, those 2 years, they are supposed to fill in the gaps that were there in the university training. It is in those finishing schools that we know that as an architect, there are other things that you can specialize in. If you are one that is very much interested in housing, then you can specialize in housing. If you are interested in hospitals, you can then specialize in hospitals. And if you love gardening, you can do landscape architecture. And you can even go into urban designs.
Of course.
You can also, so these are goals that we should encourage our members to go into. You cannot just study architecture and then that is the end. No, what am I interested in? What is my specialty? What area do I want to?
Thank you. Yes.
Do I want to know me for? You know, if they're talking about
exactly.
they're talking about house. When I finished school and I joined a firm of architects, for the first 6 months, he puts you into housing because the desire of each individual is different. What you want for your house is different from what your friend might want. So he puts us through housing for 6 months because the request of each of the clients is different. Whereas if you are designing an office block, you know, all you need to do is just sort out the what do you call it now? The lift and the circulation, the lift, the staircase, and the lobby. Once you sorted that out, the rest is just open space. That is for offices. But when you come to housing, a man might want a 200 a really large bedroom. The toilet, the bathroom might even be as big as anything, whereas another person might want something more. So he makes us go through different clients, and then you check. So what am I saying? That you have to train your people when they come out to have a focus, to have a goal, to go out and say, I'm not just going to be an ordinary architect. No, I am going to be a known architect for a particular thing. I'm going to specialize in hospital design. So that when they are talking about hospitals in the country, when they mention 5 people, you will be one of those that they will mention that, oh, no, when it comes to hospital design, call such and such a person. Because
that person. Yes.
You have gone into the intricacies. You have gone into the pros and cons. You have gone into all the challenges that hospitals face, and you are out to rectify the situation. And then if it is school design, then they know that you are known for that. What is your passion? Is it restaurant? Is it hotel? Is it, you name it. So let our members have a goal and go out
specialize.
To achieve it. Yes, specialize. And then also aim at excellence. We should not be shoddy. We should not be shoddy. We should not be careless. We should take our job seriously. And let it not be that, oh no, she's a woman. What do you expect? No.
You know.
The comment should be, she's a lady female architect. She's so good at her job. She does so well. That is the comment that we want to be made of female architects.
Mama, this is extremely stunning. I love what you've said, especially to be purpose-driven, goal-driven. And yes. I think we miss that part in our education, even training, where someone tells you, can you please specialize in something? You cannot be an architect for everything. Specialize, like you said, hospitals, hotels, landscape, urban design, lighting, interiors, furniture.
Right.
You know, the whole, specialize. And be excellent, It shouldn't be, she's a woman, therefore, or she's black, therefore, what do we expect? No. Excellence is nothing but excellence, Mama, the other thing we want to hear from you directly is, what is your biggest dream for the world? And how do you think together as the collective, how can we make that dream come true, Mama?
You know, let me start when I was in government. When I was in government, we discover that the governors know that the female directors and the female permanent secretaries are more efficient and more capable in their activities, in doing their work. I went into the state government from the private sector. I was in the private sector, then I went into government. And I was employed just to do the classroom construction and make sure that before I close, and I don't close earlier than 11 most times, 11 p.m. And before I close, I make sure that the files for payments contractors are trays empty. I do not leave a payment file to the following
for
day.
Tomorrow. Next week.
So exactly. So the contractor, by the time they come following the payment, it's gone. It's left my office. Then the governor stopped going to the director through me. I was not director. I was just an assistant director. I was even chief architect. So the governor was now coming to me directly, and by 8:30 he will call and say, "Would you mind coming for a meeting?" Because he knew I was still at work. So I was doing my duty. I was very hardworking, and you will and my desire and my hope is that one day there will be in my country a female president, because I believe very strongly either a female governor or a female
president, national president of Nigeria.
There will be a better handling of the affairs that we have right now. That is my dream. Let me say, let us even start with a female governor. Do you know that in the whole of Nigeria, we do not have, we had a female governor just once, and it was for a very short time. We have not had a female governor in the whole of 36 states. I stand corrected. Neither have we had a female president, even in the United States of America.
Imagine.
Yes. And I am telling you categorically that ministries, we've had, of course, permanent secretaries, female permanent secretaries. We've had female, I retired as a female permanent secretary. We have female commissioners. We've had female ministers. If you would do a survey and check out the performance of these female, at least 70% of them performed exceptionally well and better than the male counterparts. So I believe very strongly that if a woman is given the chance to lead the nation, to lead a state, to lead a nation, to lead even the national assemblies, they will do much better, because the financial demand of a female is not as much as that of a male. And
amazing, Mama. Yes.
And you discover that I'm sure you have experienced this. In your class, you have to work harder because of the prejudice. You have to work harder than your male counterparts to be able to show that, yes, you can do it even better than they can do it. When I was in a private firm, when I finished the university, we were working in a firm. Of course, I was the only female. And our boss would not refuse me to have a maternity leave. He said the males don't have maternity leave. He said that he enrolled us in various clubs so that they can, go there, fraternize, and bring in jobs. Of course, he refused to enroll me too, because I was a woman. But there are times when we have such a terrible deadline and we have to sleep in the office to work over the night. I was not exempted. I joined and I worked. So I'm trying to tell you that there is a discrimination among us, against us, a discrimination against the female architects in every organization. So one of my hope and my dream is that a time will come when such will be totally eradicated, when a woman will be looked upon and assessed as what she's able to do, not because she's a woman, but because she has the capability that a male also has. We have proved beyond every reasonable doubt that a woman can design, hold an office. There are many female architects in Nigeria who hold very thriving firms of architecture. Some of them have veered into design and build. So my hope and my dream is that a time will come when a woman will be given the rightful position to lead this country, to lead in various countries. If you look at some of these countries in Europe, some of these, the president is a lady, and some of the cabinets are female. They are so well, like in one of the Scandinavian countries. I read it a while ago. They are very well because a woman is committed to achieving. It's not there for what she can get for herself. I mean, look at the president of Germany that had just left. You remember, for when she was retiring, her country, they stood. They gave her a standing ovation, the whole nation, for 5 minutes, clapping for her because she achieved so much. Her interest was not in amassing wealth, but in ensuring that her country, progresses. And she was able to, 8 years of, I don't know, for I think 8 years, 2 terms, she did excellently well. And that is the kind of thing that we are hoping to have more female at the helm of affairs. And I can assure you that when you put a woman as leaders, they excel, because they have the God-given gift to excel. And they are more considerate, they are more amenable, they are more welcoming, they are open to the plight of the people. So that's my hope, my dream, that time will come when as president of my own institute for 4 years, for 2 years, it was an easy ride. It was right. You don't become a president overnight. You had to be in the system. I remember I wanted to go in as treasurer. The current person said no, that he didn't want to step down. So I said, okay, fine, fair enough. Have another go. So he had another 2 years. So and I came back and I said, now you've had 6 years, 3 terms. I want to come in. He said no. Then I said, well, too bad. We'll have to slot it out at the elections. Yes. The first time you said no, I stepped aside. Second time I came, you said no, you didn't want to go, give it up. I said, okay, fine. So let's go to the elections. And we went to the elections and
Let's
I
go
won.
to elections. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Well done.
So, yes. So that was the beginning. And after I did my 2 terms, I now also vied for the position, because you come in as a 3rd vice president. And a mail came to me and said, do you think you have the financial capacity to be the president in 6 years' time?
Imagine. How?
Yeah, and so I asked him, I said, when does money become the criteria for performance
For
as the
running.
president of the institute?
Yes. Yes.
No problem. Let's go to the elections. We slot it out. We slug it out, and let's see who wins. And of course, we went to the elections, and I won as the 3rd
And you won.
vice
Well
president.
done.
So what am I saying? We should not be discouraged. Have a goal, have a dream, desire to do something with your life, with your qualification. Don't let anything stop you. It is when you don't have a goal, when you don't have a dream, that you will just be swayed and you just go along, No, what you have done in establishing this organization, it's something great, it's something worthwhile. And you will go to greater heights, because you are going to encourage women. You go in various things that you're going to do. You're going to encourage women. Women should not just be satisfied with, yes, I've finished architecture and I'm getting married,
No.
now having babies, and because I'm having babies,
No.
and that's no. That is we are gifted to be multitask. You can get married, have children, and practice an architect. I remember when I had a practice, I told you I went from the private sector into to the government. When I was in the private sector, I had a practice to ensure that I can manage the two. I had my office very close to my home, so that when the children come back from school, I can still dash in to keep an eye on them and go back to the office.
Amazing.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you get it? So and then if you are lucky, if you are blessed with an understanding husband, that even makes it better. A husband that understands that you have a calling, because to practice architecture is a calling, because you are molding the future of a nation. When I was in government and I was in physical planning, it is the architects and the planners that should guide and direct the thinking and the action of government. You are the one that should tell them that, yes, this area should be earmarked for so and so. This area should be earmarked for so and so. In this area, the kind of development there should be such and such and such. And so, with you are supposed to shape and guide government in making policies that will affect the generality of the nation. You as an architect, you are to guide government in what they lay emphasis upon. So as an architect, you have a role to play in the molding of the lives of the inhabitants of a nation. So it's not just enough to come out and then say, yes, I've finished. No, no, no. You have to be able to contribute to this, your environment. Yes, to the society, to your environment. You should be able to tell government that, you know, what kind of infrastructure do you want to put in this place? What kind of you know, in Africa, for instance, we don't seem to have a clear-cut plan. That is why, you know, when you travel abroad, an area is earmarked, the whole land space is earmarked for a shopping mall, and you have it with a lot of parking. You don't have that here because such a space is not created. You now find houses being changed, and for a long time you'll be doing change of use. And whereas if there have been proper planning initially,
of course,
there will be no need for things like that. So we have a role to play in government. You should encourage some of your members to go into government, as civil servants, and try to effect positive changes that will impact the lives of citizens. So we should not just be satisfied with I'm an architect.
I'm an architect.
I cannot practice because I'm having children. No. You are multitasking. No. You have the capacity to do it. You can do it. You can do 2, 3, 4 things at the same time. As a woman, you can. Others have done it, you too can. So encourage your members. What you have done is excellent. So just as we did with our own female architects, they were not interested in anything to do with architecture. They finished. Some of them were not practicing. They were doing all kinds of things. Some of them were selling clothes. And what is this?
No.
We started meeting. We started seeing what others are doing, and then they were encouraged. Now have a very worthwhile group that we encourage one another all the time, and that is what your organization should be doing.
Exactly. Mama, I don't know what to say. Mama, I'm going to add something else, Mama. Mama, yes. You've given us all the beautiful advice, but Mama, you remember, while we have an increase in the number of poor people living in our cities, Mama.
Right.
Our cities are growing. I think you can also see Lagos at the same time, the poor. So, as women in architecture, I know there are all these initiatives, but from your view, Mama, because you are one of the oldest, wisest women in Africa in women in architecture, how can we help? Because the poor living under bridges, the poor living anywhere, yes. You know, apart from, yes,
you can
help us, Mama. How do you think we should really approach this one?
Yes, that's a very, very good question. A very good idea. You can do a lot. I told you when we started Female Architects of Nigeria, we did a design for widows because widows are treated very, very badly in Nigeria, and I'm sure in Africa in general. There are some tribes that treat widows badly. So we did a design. and we took it to the president's wife. And we told her we want in each state to create an estate for widows. And the government is to give us the money to build those estates. They are not very exotic houses. They are just minimal houses that we might not even finish with the best materials, but a roof over the head. You understand? A roof over your head. Now, there are NGOs. There are many NGOs. Some of them are trying, and some of them are not. But what we can do as architects, and what we need to do, and which I also want to encourage our own female architects, is to have a design, simple, low-cost housing design. There are some states that have a lot of land, so they don't need to high-rise. They can just do bungalows, just ground floor. So that when you do this simple design, and you can then, because the major, one of the things that we say to ourselves is that if you have a roof over your head, if a man and his wife and children, if they have a roof over their head, what they eat, if they drink garri all the time, nobody knows. Your shame is covered up. Whereas, if you do not have a roof over your head, you are living in a rented apartment, the landlord, when you are not able to pay, the landlord is going to come. He's going to throw you out, and the whole world will see that you have not been able to pay for your rent. So for the poor that are living under the bridge, we have them a lot. We should do, and unfortunately, when government does housing, these people are not taken care of, because the developer that is building the house wants his returns immediately. So
exactly.
You will have to, it's a tough task, but again, if you set your mind at it, and there are a lot of wealthy people that they just need to be invited and to be encouraged. Do your design, look for land. That is another problem, to get land. Don't try to go very large. Maybe 1/2 an acre, uploads, start small. Do design for them. 1-room apartment, 2-room apartment, and things like that. And then cost it. When you have costed it, then because of your influence as an architect, look for people that can support and fund it. And when you have done that small thing, now invite government. Let them see what you can do as an individual or as a leader of an organization. And then appeal to the wife of the president and the wife of governors. Let them make it their project. Many of them, they want to do something, they don't know what to do. Many of the wives of government,
Mama,
they want to do something. They want to be seen as doing something, but many of them don't know what to do. Introduce them to this. You are not keen in being in the limelight. You have a burden to house the poor. Give it to them as a project. Let them be the one to get all the publicity. You understand? Let them get the publicity. The only thing you will be getting is that you are the architect that designed it, but let it be that the idea is from them. And when that happens, you will see that you start with the capital city, then it will be replicated everywhere. And it does not matter whether the scheme is a little bit outside the city center. It doesn't have to be in the city center. But these people can then be taken and be given such. And once they have the roof of at almost next to nothing. So it's a long-term project, but you can do it. You can start it, do a simple design that can be built easily. And then, do you know there are either World Bank or Habitat, there are foreign organizations that will fund some of these things if they see that you are genuinely taking care of the urban poor. So go after that. Go after you start it. You start the idea. Get the president's wife and the governor's wives to be interested. And while they are still working on it, get the foreign companies, organizations worldwide to also be interested. And you'll be surprised how much you can get. And of course, because you have the burden, you are not really keen in making so much money. But whatever comes in as fees by the state is okay. But you have a burden, and you'll be surprised how God can help you to achieve this. I hope I've been able to.
Mama, yes, very, very, very useful, Mama. I think, wow, Mama, thank you so much. You have strengthened all of us. You know, when you speak to this organization, you're speaking to every woman in Africa. Every woman in Africa. So I don't know, Mama. Thank you so much. I like that you have encouraged every woman. Firstly, you're a woman. You are multi-gifted. You are multi-talented. You can do so much. Therefore, it's not enough to just be an architect. You are an architect, an entrepreneur, a mother, a contributor to society, and a leader. And I like what you've said about a woman being the next president of Nigeria. I hope many women in Nigeria will get this message and get encouraged to run for State House straight. I like what you did when you faced your leadership and you said, yes, and you said, let's go to elections. Let's go to elections. I think for me, any woman facing anything should just say, let's meet at elections. Is it a job interview? Let's meet at the interview. Is it an exam? Let's meet at the exam. Is it a tender? Let's meet at the bids, you know. I like what you did. And for me, I'm taking it as a motto now. Let's meet at the goalpost. Let's meet on the field. Let's meet on the soccer field. Let's meet there. Instead of doubting and saying, okay, it's okay, it's okay. No, let's meet there. Let's meet at the poll. Let's meet at the election. You know, yes, let's meet there. And for me, you've told us everything, but for me, that's my new motto. Let's meet there. Let's meet there at the State House, at the president's wife, at the governor, at the practice. Let's meet there. But women, I also like what you said. It's an abomination for a woman in architecture to fail the course.
No,
I think failing stops with our generation. The next generation, only first class, upper second, nothing less, nothing less. So for women who are still in education pushing on, it is nothing less. And we've had it straight from Mama direct. Mama has been there. So we've been there, tried, tested, got the medal, got the t-shirt, got everything. Mama, I honor you. I salute you. I thank you. You have blessed us. You have done everything for us. And thank you for coming on this show, Mama.
Thank you.
Mama, this show is going to be on the internet. It's going to be on LinkedIn and it's going to be on YouTube. So if you see yourself, Mama, it's me putting you there.
Okay then.
And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
I have your permission, Mama.
Yes.
Have a blessed weekend, Mama, and expect my call again and again. When I have questions, Mama, please come on air. Advise us until, Mama. You are our counselor, and we're not going to let you go.
Okay, thank you very much. I must say, though, that I have literally been challenged. Let me say that the organization is also a challenge to me. And I'm going to, and a challenge to our own female architects of Nigeria, that some of the things that you are aspiring to do, I'm going to encourage them to also do it. Have a burden for the poor man under the bridge. Have a burden for the child, for the girl. Have a burden for leadership in our organization.
Exactly.
In our country.
Yes.
I feel challenged by what you are doing, and I want to encourage you to continue doing it, and until you get to your goal. Have a goal and continue to strive towards achieving that goal. And I want to assure you that many more women all over Africa will emulate what you are doing. Congratulations and well done. Good job.
Thank you, Mama, so much. Bye-bye, Mama. Until our next call.
Okay,
bye-bye. Say hello